welcome to another episode of Jim Rants. A very special episode because it is Thursday, a Thursday episode for you people for the opening day. I call this. Do you guys consider the playing games like officially?
They're their own thing. It's their own thing. They have a bearing on the tournament? Yes, but they're their own thing.
They're their own thing. I'm XFL Jim, of course, obviously joined by Chase Systems, a.k.a. the Wolf of Oaklawn, and the man, the myth, the legend below us on screen, but above us in our hearts and minds. Not dead, just special. It's Erik, a.k.a. Uncle Rico. What's up, boys? What a weekend. What a time to be alive. I live. Sure. I know everyone knows I'm football through and through and through. This is still, I think this might be like my favorite weekend in sports.
Can we talk about something football related so briefly?
Very brief, yes.
Always. Gucci Mane is performing at halftime of the Birmingham Stallions home opener.
That is sick.
How amazing. How amazing is that?
That's so fucking sick. Me and Erik probably talked about that last night on Spring Fever. Go tune in.
Live.
Yeah. Well, live-ish, not anymore when you're listening to this.
Yeah, live. Yeah.
Boys, we have a jam-packed slate this Thursday. I'm assuming Erik has a bunch of picks, or was he selective? You have to stay tuned. No.
Oh, sorry. So, also, I want to go on a tangent right here. We're talking about college. College football was brought up. Did you guys see that as of right now, Louisiana Tech has games scheduled in both the Sun Belt and Conference USA?
Yeah, it was like what? Was it a 20-game regular season?
Yeah, right now they're supposed to play 20 games.
I hope they do it.
And if I'm Louisiana Tech, I just say fuck it, let's roll.
Yeah. Aren't some of the games on the same day?
Just play
almost all of them.
That's like that BS BS High, the Bishop Sycamore that had been playing like 2 games in 2 days after they got stopped by IMG Academy.
You know what? I hope they do it, and I hope they play it like Maction where they just go crazy. Boys, any overarching things you want to discuss that we didn't hit last Sunday talking about the tournament before we fully get into these games?
You guys are going to be pissed off with my bets. That's all.
We're going to be pissed off with Erik's bets.
Yeah.
But will the people like
I feel like when we were going through the bracket now, I feel like when I've made my own bracket, I might have been forcing some things because as I get in there and start looking at these games more intently when I'm talking about what wagers I'm going to make versus an actual bracket, it's I see there could be a lot of chalk. There could be a lot of chalk.
I also feel like there's going to be a lot of chalk, but there's been chalk. Everyone wants to pick these teams. When was the last time a non-1 seed didn't at least make the natty?
Ooh, jeez, I don't know off the top of my head.
I know, right? I think I saw a stat where it was over the past however many years, it's been 1 seeds or UConn who win.
I'm good.
There was one year where UConn wasn't a 1 seed. It's insane. It's going to be chalky, but who knows? There's probably upsets brewing that we haven't even thought about yet that no one sees coming. And that's what this first round's for. Sprinkle in a couple upsets. Oh.
2023. It was 2023. It was number 5 San Diego State against number 4 UConn.
Yeah, I was going to say, the stat I saw was over the past how many years, it was number 1 or UConn.
Okay, let me see if I can find without UConn. Keep going, though.
Okay. Erik, any upsets you see brewing just overarching, or do you just want to get right into picks?
I mean, upsets, I have...
Or do you just see it being very chalky, like last year?
I mean, I have some early upsets. I have one team... in the Sweet 16 that is higher than a 4.
That sounds pretty chalky.
No, 2.
That still sounds pretty chalky.
Maybe 3. 3, sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
So to an extent, chalkiness doesn't really bother me just because it means excitement in the Sweet 16 rounds.
Yeah.
Because last year, the Elite 8 and Final 4 were incredible.
Man, Those Sweet 16 games where you have a Cinderella just absolutely playing for their life, though, are usually pretty good.
Those are awesome. All right, boys, are you ready to get into these?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Starting us off, these are going to be all Central Time, by the way, just so people know. 11:15 tip-off, TCU versus Ohio State. The Buckeyes are 2.5-point favorites here. The total, 145.5 plus 120 on the money line for the Horned Frogs. Not actually a frog, by the way. It's a lizard.
Really?
It's a lizard.
Just a lizard?
Yep.
Not an amphibian?
Nope, and it shoots blood out of its eyes.
So it's more like a toad then.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Anyone got anything for Ohio State TCU? Chase, you go, and then Erik, we'll dip to you.
Give me Ohio State minus the 2.5. I think that TCU might be one of the worst shooting teams in the field, and you have Ohio State who makes a lot of high percentage 2-point shots. I think that Ohio State has the kind of game and shooting ability to just kind of slow cook TCU here. So I'm taking Ohio State minus the 2.5. What about you, Uncle Rico?
I am on the other side. I am taking TCU here plus the 2.5. I really think it's a tough matchup for Thor, and I really don't trust the roster of Ohio State. Ohio State is shooting 40% from deep. I think they're due from regression. One thing that I did is I took what the team is shooting and what the other team is shooting, and then I kind of look at the difference to kind of see like where every team is. There's 6.1. That's regression in my eyes. TCU has punched up all season. They played Houston tough. They played Iowa State tough. They won at Kansas. I think they're going to have the advantage on the glass. They're top 60 nationally rebounding, second chance points. They're going to take the ball out of Thorin's hands. They're good getting to the free throw line. This year, they're 8-3 as a dog, top 25 defensive team. I really feel like this team would have been seeded higher if it wasn't for that first game loss to New Orleans. 5-0 ATS this season on neutral courts. I think they have the coaching advantage. So I took TCU here plus 2.5.
This is one that I thought about a lot. I was going to leaning towards TCU. I ended up staying away because I like the momentum that Ohio State's playing with right now. But I was liking TCU just because, like to Erik's point, TCU punches up. If this would have been like TCU as a 6 seed or something, as if they're favored, I probably would have been wanting to fade them. But as the dog against a team that's red hot like Ohio State, damn it, fuck, I'm gonna go fuck. I'm talking myself back into it. I'm talking myself back into it. Yeah, just give me TCU money line. I'm not gonna mess around with it. Up next, only about 25, like barely 30 minutes past. Troy versus Nebraska in Oklahoma City. Speaking of which, though, SeatGeek did say something about 67, like over 60% of the tickets for Oklahoma City have come from the state of Nebraska.
That's amazing.
By the way, Nebraska 12.5-point favorite, over under 137.5 plus 650 on the money line for Troy. Erik, I know you got something here. You talked about this earlier. I got something here too.
I would still play at the numbers you gave. I got Troy at plus 13.5. I put a little sprinkle at plus 800. Any game with Nebraska is just a 3-point shooting contest. They're playing in a venue they've never played in before, unfamiliar shooting environment. Troy is going to be able to generate second chance points. Since February 1st, they are the 10th best offensive rebounding team in the country per Bartorovic, rebounding at a 33% offensive rebounding rate, which is 53rd nationally. The key question is if Troy is going to hit their threes, because Nebraska gives up a lot of looks. If Troy is able to hit their threes, I think they are very live to actually win this game. Nebraska is a team I had circled the fade. Troy, physical up front, high 3-point variance game. In that case, I'm always going to take the under. One thing Troy is going to be able to do is they're going to throw a lot of different defenses at Nebraska. They're going to press. They're going to play zone. And that's not stuff that other teams do in the Big Ten. So they're not going to have a lot of exposure to that. Inflated balls, new gym. I think Nebraska is going to struggle hitting threes. I'm going to take the dog here in a hybrid game.
I love your speaking to the under as well, because even if Nebraska's offense continues to be what it has been, where it's been pretty stagnant unless someone gets red hot, which is a possibility, but not, I don't know how likely it is, especially this first round. But Nebraska's defense has been pretty solid throughout, like even this struggling period. and they do generate takeaways and everything. So I kind of like the under in this game. I bet Troy plus the 12.5. Like Erik said, you have to sprinkle. If they lose and they don't cover, I won't care because Nebraska, if it means Nebraska gets a win, I will be on cloud 9.
And I mean, Troy beat Akron at home, who I feel is the best mid-major in this conference. They went out west. They won.
They're not bad.
At San Diego State, they lost by 1 in overtime to a fully loaded USC team early in the season. I think this team is decent, so I'm a little worried about your Huskies, buddy.
I'm not worried about them winning because I do think they will win, but that's such a big spread, and I have to sprinkle when you see a number like 650. Absolutely crazy. Up next, South Florida, Louisville. The Cardinals are 4.5-point favorites here, over under 163.5, plus 164 on the money line for the Bulls of South Florida.
To me, this is sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chase.
I'm gonna go ahead, and this is one that I'm like adding on in real time. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump on South Florida on the money line. Their style of basketball is just absolutely wild. It's about how many shots they can put up. You have Louisville, which I believe has a big injury coming into this game.
The best player, Brown, is not playing.
Yeah, so I think if you can catch USF early enough before the money line starts drifting down a little bit, which I'm sure it already has, but if you can catch it, go ahead and unload on the Bulls here, I think.
Yeah, I fired away for the same reasons Chase explained. I fired away plus 4.5 for USF, money line plus 164, and then I put a little bit on the under 163.5 as well. I'm thinking this could be an ugly game.
USF has a way of uglying up games.
They do. Did you touch this one, Erik?
No, like for me, I just of live betting written all over it. Kelsey seeing his first tournament win. Louisville very hot and cold. South Florida is the best thing is the same way. I really feel this is going to be a game where if you actually are monitoring the live markets, you're going to be able to get a plus 175 or better on both teams and just hedge out and have money either way.
That's not fun. That doesn't sound fun.
But I will, with the South Florida coach's story, I will be rooting for South Florida, and I did pick South Florida in my bracket, but I have no bets in this game.
We did roll with the Bulls. High Point, Wisconsin, 12:50 p.m. Wisconsin 10.5-point favorites here, over under 163.5 plus 370 on the money line. I chickened out because I remember on our bracket reveal, I did say I was going to be betting High Point. They're one of the best covering teams in the country. I chickened out and I'm not touching this game. Chase, what are you doing?
I'm taking the covered wagon that is High Point here, and I'm going to take them with the points, and then also I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle. I made my own personal bracket. I decided to fuck around and put High Point into the next round, and so if I have that much confidence to do that, I might as well go ahead and do a little sprink there on the money line. So yeah, High Point at the points. Was it 10.5 right now? 12.5?
10.5 currently.
Yeah, give me a High Point to cover. That's what they've done all season is cover games.
Did you fuck this little Erik?
Nah, for me, I just couldn't. I just don't know what to do here. Maybe like I always kind of do like a race to 10 fun round robin parlay the day of. Maybe I'll put High Point in that. The thing that really stood out to me is they haven't faced a top 100 opponent. They like to run. Wisconsin's elite, stopping the fast break. That's why they're able to handle my boys at Michigan State. High Point likes to get to the line. Wisconsin doesn't foul much. Winter is expected to play for Wisconsin. Helps boost the rim. And in terms of like travel, who is this going to benefit? High Point's been basically off for 2 weeks, a week and a half. Are they going to come out rusty? Wisconsin played 3 games in 3 days, finished Saturday. Now they're traveling to Portland. Early start. Jim's probably going to be dead. What is that going to look like? You know what I mean? There's just too many variables in this game. So I just kind of set it out.
I respect that. I could definitely see a live betting opportunity too in the first half. If Wisconsin gets out to a nice, decent lead, I could see High Point clutching their way back in.
High Point could get out 16-2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they could be out like boom like that, and then you could go the opposite way. To me, I think this is another one of those live betting games if you have the opportunity to be in front of a book and investing.
It's one of the most beautiful things about March is the live betting.
Yeah.
I just imagine Uncle Rico sat in front of it. You probably don't, but like a 6-monitor computer, like you're at a stock trading desk.
Yeah.
You have all the games and you have all of your sports books up, and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to just live bet everything.
Sometimes
like a 3/4 recline, like in a Matrix movie.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm able to get dirty like that. Sometimes.
I can believe it. 1:50 p.m. Siena versus Duke, baby. Duke are 27.5 point favorites. Total is 135.5 plus 3,500 on the money line.
I was looking at the first half under here. Duke 21-10 to the first half under the season. Siena 17-9 to the first half under. Shire 72-50-1 to the first half under in his career. 8-3 in the tournament to the first half under. No Chandler for Siena really hurts what they're able to do. And this team has basically plays 5 guys. So the legs are going to start to go toward the end of that half. So if anything, I would play the first half under here, but I didn't get involved as of yet.
No, I'm staying away from this one. I think Duke's going to annihilate them.
Ooh, my boy Maddie will be upset with that one, buddy.
I'm sorry.
My boy Maddie is a proud Siena season ticket holder.
McNeese versus Vanderbilt, baby. Vanderbilt 11.5 point favorites. Over under 149.5 plus 525 on the money line. I did it, and maybe I'm buying too much into like the end of the season run they've had, but they've been decent all season. I'm taking Vanderbilt minus 11.5. I'm doing it. Versus McNeese.
I didn't make a play. I thought about being on the opposite side of this, and the reason this is complete vibe, which is I kind of feel like they dumped the Gatorade after they beat Florida. Then they had the letdown of the SEC championship game, and they're really just kind of limping into the tournament after that game, and being on that emotional high. So I kind of like McNeese as a little sprinkle too, but it's not a play for me.
I think they're just so much better.
When I was looking at this, I expect a high scoring game. Is McNeese going to be able to get stops? McNeese does have length. They have athletic talent that should be playing at a higher level of ball. Larry Johnson is going to be his breakout performance. When I do like some player props, I'll probably look to his over in points. He could easily go for 40. Vanderbilt is playing on 3 games in 3 days, finished on Sunday against Arkansas, looked tired at the end of the game. Is that going to play a factor in the game against McNeese, which is coming in rested? Vanderbilt's guards also had a problem with the length of Arkansas's guards. McNeese, they do have some lengthy guards. Like, how is that going to look? McNeese, 68th in Ken Pom, but they do shoot 7.3% worse away from home. To me, this is just another one of those live betting games, and I'll probably take McNeese to race to 10. I'll probably look to McNeese in one of those round rock. No, those are fun, dude.
I know those are awesome. I love those, Eric. No, I'm not dogging you. Those are great.
Find like 4 little dogs, like High Point, McNeese. Just play the race to 10 and just do a little fun, little small round robin with it. But in terms of like betting on the game, I just couldn't get there.
North Dakota State at your boys, the Michigan State Spartans. Michigan State 16.5 point favorites here. Totals 143.5 plus 1,000 on the money line for the Bison.
So when I was looking at stuff, North Dakota State can't stop the fast break. That's all Michigan State can do on offense. And they most of their offense comes from second chance points. Good luck doing that against the Izzo team, especially coming off an embarrassing loss against UCLA.
I was going to say, like, the only things that North Dakota State does remotely well, Michigan State does way better.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a blowout.
Yep.
Hawaii at Arkansas. I'm just going to call it at Arkansas, baby. Razorbacks 15.5 point.
Even though it's in Portland.
Yeah. You guys travel. You have that West Coast presence.
We do. We travel well.
15.5 point favorites for Arkansas. Over under 159.5 plus 850 on the money line for the Warriors.
All right, Chase. Go ahead, man.
Chase.
Did you bet it?
I'm gonna. It's it's a system play here. Woo damn pig. Give me Arkansas to cover the 15.5. Though I will say, to kind of cover my ass a little bit here, I do like Hawaii first half.
Eric, did you bet this one?
I took Hawaii plus 15.5 and plus 900 on the money line. Arkansas is that team that can beat anyone or lose anyone. Someone during our live stream on Sunday made the comparison to the Auburn team that lost to Yale. And the more I looked into it, the more I kind of saw that they only play 7 men. You played 3 games in 3 days. You finished by winning a championship. Now you have to travel cross country over 2,000 miles to Portland, when Hawaii had their tournament in Las Vegas, is traveling from Las Vegas to Hawaii. Now, I mentioned the 3-point delta, the 3-point variance of the teams in the tournament. Arkansas has the 3rd highest at 10.6. Hawaii is the lowest. So if there's a game where a team is due for 3-point regression, it is Arkansas. A team that is due for a 3-point positive, it is Hawaii. And especially, like, we call them brick throwers when I played basketball. Arkansas's brick throwers shot 60% against Vanderbilt. Acuff, for as good as he is, and don't get me wrong, he is a great player. He's going to be a hell of an NBA player. Since February 1st, he's shooting 50% on catch and shoot threes. That's a number that's unsustainable. Hawaii is strong interior defense. They can score at the rim. They're pretty good at limiting threes. I think they're going to disrupt Arkansas's perimeter game. Cal is 2-8 ATS while laying 15 or more in the tournament. When there's a 7 seed differential, 4-9 ATS in the first round, the worst of any coach in the tournament. Acuff could get 40 here. Don't get me wrong. But I think that Hawaii is going to change from their drop coverage. They're going to look to double him. They're going to look to play a lot of zone. And we've seen that Cal has struggled in zone. He's struggled making adjustments. If Hawaii doesn't turn the ball over, lets Acuff get his 40 points, and just takes away those other guys, and those other guys have regression, I think we're going to be looking up. It's going to be a very tight game within the under 5 minutes.
I'm just taking the +8.5 first half for Hawaii.
Hawaii will be in my first to 10 round robin too.
I bet they will.
Hold on. I feel like I just need to sit here like this.
No, he did preface like this whole show saying we'd be mad at him.
We were going to be mad. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
But also, like, it sucks that you guys are playing Hawaii because I love Hawaii. So
yeah, I know.
I wish they were playing literally almost anybody else.
So I got Hawaii. Who else did I say? McNeese.
Troy.
No. I'm talking my first to 10 round robin.
Oh, gotcha.
5 Point, McNeese,
Hawaii,
and then maybe Troy. I'm searching for one more dance partner.
Maybe you'll see VCU versus North Carolina. UNC are 2.5-point favorites here in this matchup. Total is set at 152.5 plus 124 on the money line for VCU. I took VCU money line. Chase, I assume you did the same. Just explain why.
The VCU money line for me, like VCU is such like an eye test team. I love the way that they play, and you have a UNC team that really kind of lacks the panache of other UNC teams. And I don't know, as soon as they announced this bracket, this was the money line that I wanted to jump on more than any other game.
I do feel the worry for me is that this is maybe the most public dog.
Probably.
I wanted to get there with VCU. But then I started diving into the number, and the team in the ACC that plays most like VCU is Virginia. They like the press and everything. When UNC played Virginia, they scored 100 points. They averaged 1.4 points per possession. VCU likes to get to the rim. UNC rarely fouls. So obviously officiating is going to be the key here. VCU funnels everything to the rim. No Wilson. What is that offense going to do? I think VCU has the better guard. So, in my head, I can make an argument for both sides. So I just kind of stood away. Respect it.
Howard, Michigan. The Wolverines are 30.5-point favorites over Howard. Total is 151.5, plus 3,500 on the money line.
My notes say jack shit. That's literally what I wrote.
I almost wrote Michigan down on my sheet, and then I decided no, that'd be dumb.
Hey, Florida opened up laying 33.5 to Prairie View too, guys.
I'll take Prairie View. Texas, BYU. BYU 2.5-point favorites here, over under 157.5 plus 114 on the money line. Chase, tell me we're lockstep in here.
I'm on BYU minus the one. I got a -1.5. I was looking at it. It was -2.5, and it ticked down right as I was looking at it, and then it ticked back up. So I like the -1.5 here. I've personally watched Texas have trouble with dynamic scorers, and I think that's what you have with DeBonsa at BYU. I mean, Texas had to go down to the wire with NC State and Dayton. I think you might be on the right side with a fresh BYU team. Plus, there's a kid on Texas who has what I can only be described as a Minecraft head. It's just a perfect square.
It does look very cubish.
Very cubish. But yeah, I took BYU in the points here.
Yeah, I don't know what it is right now, but immediately once it opened, I took Chase hit the nail on the head. Texas really struggled with dynamic scores. AJ's point total was 26.5, so I played him over 26.5.
Yep, I just rolled BYU minus 2.5. Texas A&M, St. Mary's. St. Mary's are 3.5 point favorites in this matchup. Total is 147.5 plus 136 on the money line for the Aggies.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Erik. Do you have a pick or you said thoughts?
No, I was going to say this is the game I'm looking forward to the most. I have no bet because of the contrast and style. I do have like some random notes if you guys want to hear them.
Well, Chase, give us your pick and then we'll get these notes from Erik. I also have a pick in this game.
Right.
I'm St. Mary's minus 3.5. As nice as Buckyball is, it makes them absolutely terrible on the glass. And if you have one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country with St. Mary's, who's number 13 in 3-point field goal percentage, if you give them multiple looks in a possession at 3-point, they're going to knock a lot of them down. And I think that St. Mary's is going to shoot A&M into submission here. But I mean, like Uncle Rico kind of alluded to, it's very much like a styles make fights thing here because Buckyball gets kind of USF wild, if you will. If I had to find another a comp for USF, it would easily be Texas A&M. What do you think, Uncle Rico?
I did nothing here. These are just my notes. St. Mary's struggled earlier this season against Vanderbilt, which kind of plays in the same thing. They want to slow it down. Texas A&M wants a zoo type game. My big question is, was Texas A&M's lack of turnover in the second half of SEC play due to the teams were used to the Buckyball style? You know what I mean? Like, what is St. Mary's going to do? They should be able to control the glass. They're going to I think Randy Bennett is a very solid coach. Will have his team prepared. Texas A&M's record versus teams this year in the tournament, just 3-9. So, I mean, and St. Mary's is the best 3-throw shooting team in the tournament. So, I mean, I definitely would go to St. Mary's. I'm in a survivor and I'm in 2 survivors, and one of them, St. Mary's, is my pick for the first day.
All I did, I think St. Mary's is going to control the pace of this game 100%. I just bet Texas A&M's team total under 72.5. Don't think they're going to get too many opportunities. Penn versus Illinois. Illinois, 25.5 point favorite here, over under 151.5 plus 2,200 on the money line. Crazy Ivy League coming in.
I mean,
do you believe?
Here's the thing. It was just announced that Roberts, their best player, is out. Powers is banged up. Penn doesn't have. If that's the case, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? Are they going to be able to score enough? Because they shot 50% from 3 against Villanova. 50%. Guess what the score was in that game when Penn played them? Or guess how many they lost by? Whatever. Guess how many
they lost by 8. I'm gonna guess 8.
They lost 90-63.
Yikes.
Whew. So I mean, in my eyes, they just don't have enough points. My only worry is this Illinois team, to me, doesn't look like a team that can step on anyone's throat. You know what I mean? They just kind of look like they're going through the motions. A lot of rumors that Stojakovic has 2 feet out the door, that he's already looking to transfer. So long term, not good for Illinois. But like I said on Sunday, I think Illinois is a cakewalk to the Sweet 16.
I was going to say, also, the thing with Illinois is they do have the offensive firepower to put the scare into anybody.
And they're so long, and they all shoot 3-pointers so well.
And for the season, they shot 40% from deep. And then what is it? Over the last month, they're at 31. So they're obviously due for a little positive regression right there. So, I mean, gun to my head, I would take Illinois, but I don't have a gun to my head.
St. Louis, Georgia. The Bulldogs are 2.5 point favorites here, over under 169.5 plus 124 on the money line for the Billikens of St. Louis. Chase.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I just had.
I've got my. Oh, go ahead. I want to hear it.
I want to hear it too.
Whoever wins this game is live to beat Michigan in the second round.
Whoo.
Yeah, I can see it.
Well, if that's the case, I hope it's the St. Louis Billikens because I'm on St. Louis on the money line plus 125 here. I honestly, when I look at how well St. Louis shoots the ball, especially Larry Nerd or Larry Blurred, I guess is what Avila is what they call that kid. I think the shooting stats really kind of speak for this game, and it makes me think that this is a case of wrong team favored, and this is a wildly inconsistent Georgia team. It's a wildly consistent St. Louis team. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get on the plus money here and take the Billikens plus 125.
Respect. Kennesaw State, Gonzaga. The Zags are 21.5 point favorites here. Total is 154.5 plus 1,600 on the money line for Kennesaw State. Anyone getting there? Anyone touching it?
Oh, we still talking?
Unless you had a pick for, did you have a pick in St. Louis, Georgia, Eric?
I have notes for every game, but I had no bet.
Oh, I moved on. Kennesaw State, Gonzaga.
No, you're good. I just that's a game I'm looking forward to. Georgia, St. Louis, another one of the games I think you're going to be able to live bet the shit out of it.
Oh, 100%. Do you have anything for Gonzaga?
Few 24-31 and 1 ATS. And Kennesaw State plays with a fast pace. To me, this is backdoor written all over it, but I didn't bet it.
Yeah, I can see it. Last game of the day, Houston, Idaho. The Cougars of Houston are 23.5 point favorites here. Total is 138.5 plus 2,200 on the money line. I had to take, you guys know me, I got to take one of these big spreads. I'm doing it. I'm taking Houston. I'm taking Houston minus 23.5.
No.
I thought about
I'm doing it. They're turning the defense on right now. They're going to turn it on.
I kind of liked what I saw out of Idaho in Starch Madness in the Big Sky tournament. I like it enough that I think you play the first half number with Idaho in that game. I mean, you could do your huge spread and it probably will come to fruition, but this feels like one of those teams or one of those games where it's like, oh, wow, Idaho's only down 3 points at halftime. What happened?
I can very easily see that being the case where it's like, oh, Idaho's like keeping it real close. And then you look and there's a minute left and Houston's up by 30.
Yeah.
They just shut them down in the second half.
Yeah, totally.
Any thoughts on this one, Eric?
I was looking at Idaho's team total under. They played really slow in Starch Madness. Houston, after what we saw from them and how they lost to Arizona, I think Sampson's going to be on their ass like no other. So I think they're going to be really locked in defensively. I was looking for that. I was hoping to get a number north of 60, but it opened up at 55, so I didn't do anything.
Any other thoughts on Thursday action?
No.
I just treasure this moment.
I don't know. I think if we're going to have – I went into this episode saying I was thinking it might be chalky, and then as you talk about games, I'm like, ooh, I kind of like that dog on the money line. Ooh, I kind of like that dog on the money line too. I just feel like, these days are just made perfect for round robin bettors like ourselves.
God damn it, they are.
So I'm going to do a round robin of 1st to 10. I'm going to go High Point, McNeese, Hawaii.
He's thinking.
Oh my God. I need one more dancing partner. Fuck it. I'll go Troy.
I can see it.
That's going to be my 1st to 10 round robin.
I locked this in as we were doing the episode here. I'm doing 2-team round robins with 5 games. So if you bet $2, it'll be a $20 total bet. I'm going McNeese State money line, VCU money line, South Florida money line, High Point money line, and St. Louis money line all together.
God, I hate everything so much. I hate everything. I gotta go. I mean, I gotta do. It's just a little 3-teamer. It's Troy, VCU, South Florida.
I mean, I'm gonna do a massive one with all my dogs. So if you want that, you can DM me for it because I don't want to spoil the bets that we're gonna give out on tomorrow's show.
Speaking of which, tune in tomorrow, Friday, for our morning pick show, the bright and early for you guys. And that's where we will see you. You can follow that man at of Oaklawn everywhere. You can follow that man at eTop21 Sports. You can follow me at XFL Jim. Lots of stuff coming out. Actually, today, all of my UFL, like getting ready for the season videos start coming out. I'm rolling out 7 videos in 7 days. So
that's what I'm talking
be looking forward to that, folks. Yeah.
Do you see the smile on my face?
Oh,
I'm so excited for
stuff,
UFL season, dude.
See you guys tomorrow. We love